I'm Larry Ridley.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August of 2002, and it's been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here between the Carolina Panthers and the Miami Dolphins. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. On first down, Newton. And incomplete to open things up. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Now a first carry for Jonathan Stewart. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. And the numbers down a bit from their Super Bowl year this season for Jonathan Stewart. Did have some injuries. He finished with 824 yards. 9 touchdowns, though. Good in that department.
When it's around the goal line, he's a terrific runner because he knows how to get there, and he can run through contact, run through trash, as we like to say. That's part of the reason he accumulates the injuries that he does, because he runs inside a lot and takes on those linebackers. But they're going to work on Jonathan Stewart in the offseason, get him healthy, and have him back ready to go for next season. Okay, I have to take a second here and talk about Greg Olsen, the tight end for the Carolina Panthers. 3rd straight year over 1,000 yards.
And look here, it's an opening drive fake. And the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Well, you want to talk about catching the defense off guard. Opening drive, fake punt. They got it.
That had the total feel of something that was scripted during the entire week leading up to the game. They made that decision probably on Tuesday. First drive of the game, if we don't get it, we're going to fake it, and it pays off in a big way.
They'll get 19 yards there. And that leads to a Carolina zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
From the red zone now, Newton. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now Stewart on 1st down. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. From the 5-yard line, will this opening drive yield 6? This is 3rd and goal. Now Newton on 3rd and goal. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Man, a tough spot to drop that down here, 3rd and goal.
And so many times when you analyze a play like this, you talk about the people around him and maybe his focus was gone. Sometimes just simply him understanding how close he is to the end zone and a chance to score, and he tightens up and doesn't complete the play.
And this is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. So, Charles, they wanted 7 on that opening drive. They didn't want to settle for a field goal.
Felt like a tone setter. You know, that's what they were looking for, because a lot of teams, they'll march it downfield, and when they kick the field goal, it almost feels disappointing, doesn't it? You have a nice drive. I think this team decided, guess what? No matter what, we're going for the 6. Try and put those points on the board and set them back on their heels.
But unfortunately, that mentality did not work out. Tannehill now to throw. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Charles Johnson.
Marked it just outside the end zone at the 1-yard line.
So the D gets the sack on first, and now it brings up second down. From the end zone, Tannehill. And that's complete. It's Sims. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. They find some open field here. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Damian Williams, 93 yards. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. So their backs were against the wall, deep back in their own territory, and they run it all the way down into the end zone.
That takes a lot of coordination for an offensive team, doesn't it? Because, let's face it, it's really not a surprise that they're going to run the ball in that situation. Backed up that close to their own end zone, usually do call running plays, trying to be safe. Instead, it turns into an electrical run, a bolt for your team, and off he goes to the races.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. On 1st and 10, Newton. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Here's Newton now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And Ginn's got it. And he's brought down after a good game. That one goes for 24 yards. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. From the 50, Newton. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
One receiver left, 2 to the right. Incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And it's second down.
Tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn, and it's third down. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. Throwing on third down, Newton. He'll hit Whitaker in the flat. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. Partner into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. So now off goes Newton, and on comes the kicker, Graham Gano. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Gano's kick is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate, because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team, helps them start their comeback.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously. They'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
A reminder, coming up at the intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Larry Ridley and the crew in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. He's going to look deep now for Landry. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Tannehill. He's going to go up top again. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. They're going to go. It's Tannehill. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. And with a 3rd and 13, looking for the tight end Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. Here's Tannehill. He's going to air one out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
The way he roared up and made that play, that tells me that he spent a lot of time in the film room analyzing what this offense does, and he saw something that convinced him he didn't have to worry about the pass. He could just go right now and make a play. I think if you're the offensive team, you better file that away a little bit. Maybe think about some play action down the road.
Ajayi's going to go. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Ajayi, 39 yards. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Franks now on to kick it away after the touchdown. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A good first down call as the screenplay gets them 9. And the offense moving quickly to the line. To throw on second down is Newton. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his second there. Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's a bold strike right there, taking it downfield and putting some air on it. But how about the coverage? Able to get his hands across the receiver and bat the ball down.
A final shot before the break. Newton buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. So
You seriously just skip the halftime of the Super Bowl? Who does that?
it's a Super Bowl. Watch the halftime show. All right, here we go. Third quarter action now. And the Dolphins are going to recover. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a two tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the two tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully. There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw. Time to tighten up the seatbelt just a little bit, partner, because that was a safety that crashed in there and made that play behind the line of scrimmage. How about that pursuit?
Third down, here's Williams. And he's got room. 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Damian Williams, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those two TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have two touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Franks now on to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And back onto the field, here comes the Dolphins defense. And they had a great fourth down stop last time that set their offense up great. Offense able to score. So offense probably over there saying, hey, do that again.
Exactly what they're saying. That's working together. That's being in tandem right there. Stop them on defense. Offense gets great field position, rolls in and puts points on the board. I think you're exactly right. Can you do it for us one more time? We'll take it.
They'll try and do it again.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
So third down, just 1 yard to go. Newton on third down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. No gain at all on the play there. That brings up fourth. Well, if you're going to pass on 3rd and 1, you better get a first down. If you complete it, they completed it, but no gain.
The aiming point has to be beyond the first down marker where you throw the ball. 3rd and 1, you can't have anything that's even close to the line of scrimmage.
And look at this, another fake. 11.
Yeah, and I guess they felt like that was a true full fake because most of the time with a yard to go, you leave your offense on the field, you run something from your playbook. But here, they gave the full impression. first down. They definitely surprised us.
I was going to say, surprise, surprise. Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have two with the move from San Diego to L.A. What is that?